I still can't believe you really walked away from all of it, Ethan, Clara whispered, her fingers tracing the rim of her wine glass. I smiled, trying to hide the ache that still tugged inside me. I'd walk away 1,000 times if it meant being with you. She tilted her head, her dark hair catching the glow of the restaurant lights. But your father's company? Your inheritance? That was your future. My future is sitting across the table from me, I said. The rest doesn't matter. Her lips curved into a smile, though it didn't reach her eyes. You're crazy, you know that? Crazy about you. I leaned back, remembering the storm of arguments with my father, Richard Cole, the man who built an empire. He had looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Choose her, and you're no longer my son." I had chosen. And here I was. Clara set her glass down. Sophie says you'll regret it one day. I blinked. Sophie? She worries about you, Clara explained. She thinks you deserve more than living in that tiny apartment, working late nights just to pay the bills. Does Sophie know how much I love you? I asked. Clara sighed. She knows, but she doesn't think love pays rent. I laughed lightly, though her words stung. I'll manage. I always manage. She reached across the table, squeezing my hand. I don't want you to feel like you gave up everything. I want you to be proud of us. I am, I said quickly. I'm proud every single day. My father's money, the business, the expectations, none of that meant anything without you. Her smile softened, but I noticed the way she glanced away. Sometimes I wonder if you'll wake up and realize you deserve more. I already have more. I have you, I insisted. The waiter placed our meals down, but I barely noticed. My mind kept circling around Sophie's words. He deserves more. Maybe she didn't see what I saw in Clara. Maybe she didn't understand the nights Clara stayed up sketching her designs. The way her eyes lit up when she talked about her dream boutique. Later that night, in our small apartment, Clara paced with her sketchbook. Ethan, do you ever think about what life would have been if you hadn't left the company? All the time, I admitted. But not with regret. My father never believed in you, Clara. I couldn't stand there and let him insult you. Walking away was the only choice. She stopped pacing, looking at me with a strange expression. You gave up everything for me. I didn't give up, I corrected. I chose. And I'd choose you again, even if it meant starting from nothing. Her silence pressed against me. I wanted her to say she'd do the same, but instead she only whispered, You're stronger than I am. I pulled her into my arms. No, I'm just a man who knows what he wants. The following weekend, Sophie visited. She sat on the edge of our worn-out sofa, crossing her legs as she looked me over. Ethan, can I be blunt? I nodded. You're wasting yourself. You're brilliant. You had everything in your hands. And now you're... Here. She gestured around the cramped apartment. Clara frowned. Sophie, stop! No, let her speak, I said. Sophie's gaze was sharp. Clara is wonderful, yes, but she doesn't need you to bleed yourself dry for her dreams. I exhaled slowly. Sophie, I'm not bleeding. I'm building a future with the woman I love. Her lips tightened. I just hope you don't realize too late that she doesn't love you the same way. The room went quiet. Clara shifted uncomfortably, avoiding my eyes. I forced a chuckle. You're protective, I get it. But Clara chose me, and I chose her. That's all that matters. Sophie shook her head, gathering her purse. Love shouldn't cost everything, Ethan, just remember that. When she left, Clara bit her lip. She doesn't understand us. No one has to, I replied firmly. Only we do, Clara touched my cheek. Promise me you'll never hate me for what you lost. I kissed her forehead. I could never hate you. But alone in the quiet, I lay awake staring at the cracked ceiling. Sophie's words echoed louder than I wanted them to. She doesn't love you the same way. I closed my eyes and forced the thought away. I told myself love was enough, that my sacrifices meant something, that one day Clara would see just how much I believed in her. I whispered into the darkness, It's all worth it. It has to be. I pushed the apartment door open, the sound of laughter drifting through the air. At first I thought Clara had the TV on. Then I heard a man's voice, low, familiar. I froze. Daniel, Clara whispered, her tone playful. My stomach clenched. I stepped inside quietly, the sight before me shattering my world. Clara was in Daniel's arms, lips pressed against his. Clara, I said, my voice raw. She gasped, pulling back. Ethan, wait, it's not what you think. Daniel straightened, guilt flashing across his face. Ethan, listen, don't, I snapped. Don't you dare speak my name. Clara rushed toward me. Please let me explain. I backed away, my hands trembling. Explain what? That the woman I gave up everything for is kissing my best friend? That the man I trusted more than anyone is in my home with her? Her voice shook. I never meant for you to find out this way. Find out? I laughed bitterly. So it's been going on. How long, Clara? She bit her lip, tears welling. Months. My chest burned. And you looked me in the eye every day. You told me I was enough. You are, she cried. But Daniel, he offers things you can't. Daniel stepped forward. Ethan, shut up. My words cut like knives. You stole her from me. My partner, my brother. How could you? He lowered his gaze. I didn't steal her. She chose. Chosen? I turned to Clara, my voice cracking. Is that true? Clara's silence was answer enough. I staggered back. I left my father, my inheritance, my life, for you. And this is what I get? Her tears spilled. Ethan, you don't understand. You gave me love, but Daniel gives me stability, security. I can't live struggling forever. My chest heaved. So love wasn't enough for you? She reached for me, but I pulled away. I loved you, Ethan, she whispered. Loved, I echoed. Past tense. That's all I am to you now, Daniel tried again. Ethan, I never wanted to hurt you, I glared at him. You destroyed everything. Both of you, Clara sobbed. Don't leave. Please, don't leave me like this. We can talk, we can fix. Fix? My laugh was hollow. You already broke it. You broke me, she fell to her knees. I made a mistake. I thought I needed more, but I swear I still care. No, I whispered, my throat tight. You don't care. If you did, you wouldn't have chosen him. Her cries filled the room, each one slicing into me. Daniel muttered, Maybe I should go. Go, I hissed. Get out of my sight before I forget we were ever friends. He grabbed his coat, guilt dripping from every step as he left. The door slammed, leaving only Clara and me. She crawled closer, clutching my sleeve. Ethan, please, don't walk away. Don't let this be the end. I looked at her, this woman I had given my soul to, and all I saw was betrayal. My chest felt hollow, my lungs refusing to breathe. I pulled my arm free. I don't even know who you are anymore, her sobs echoed, desperate. I'm still the woman you loved. No, I cut her off. That woman died the moment you chose him. Silence hung heavy. My heart thundered, my mind spinning between rage and despair. I turned, my hand on the door. Ethan! Clara screamed. Don't go! But I stepped into the night, her voice trailing after me, the sound of betrayal that would haunt me forever. I sat on Lucas's couch, staring at the untouched coffee in my hands. You look like hell, Lucas muttered, dropping into the chair across from me. I feel worse, I whispered. He leaned forward. Tell me again why you didn't break Daniel's face when you had the chance. Because it wouldn't change anything, I said, voice hollow. He already took what mattered most, Lucas shook his head. He didn't take her, Ethan. She chose him. Big difference, I flinched. Don't remind me. Someone has to, he said. You gave up your life for Clara, and she threw it back at you. If you go crawling back, she'll do it again. I'm not crawling back, I muttered, though the words felt weak. He studied me. You're still in love with her. I slammed the cup on the table. I hate her. I hate them both. Then why are your eyes saying otherwise? Silence pressed between us. I had no answer. That night I lay awake in Lucas's spare room, staring at the ceiling. Clara's laugh echoed in my head, the way her eyes used to shine when she talked about her dreams. I buried my face in the pillow and whispered into the dark. Why wasn't I enough? The next morning, Lucas knocked. You going to work? I don't feel like it. You've skipped 3 days, Ethan. You'll get fired. Maybe that's better, I muttered. Better? His voice rose. You think drowning yourself in misery is better than holding on to the one thing you still have left? I sat up, exhausted. I don't care anymore. Then what's the point of all those sacrifices? Lucas demanded. You left everything for her. If you give up now, you're letting her betrayal define your whole life. My throat tightened. Maybe it already has. The following week, my boss called me into his office. Ethan, he sighed. Your performance has dropped. You're distracted, late, unfocused. I'll fix it, I promised. You said that last month. I'm sorry, but we can't keep you on. I walked out numb. No job, no home, no love, nothing. When I returned to Lucas's place, he noticed instantly. You lost it, didn't you? I nodded. I'm done. Don't say that, he warned. I gave her everything. My family, my career, my future. And now it's all gone. Lucas grabbed my shoulders. Then build something new. Don't let her betrayal be the end of you. I pushed him away. You don't understand. You didn't see the way she looked at him. She never looked at me like that. Not once. He was quiet for a moment. Then maybe you loved her more than she ever loved you. The words stung like knives. That night I sat on the balcony, staring at the city lights. The thought whispered through me. What if I ended it? What if I just disappeared? I gripped the railing tighter. My heart pounded. Lucas came out holding 2 beers. He set one beside me. Don't even think about it. I looked at him, startled. How did you... I know that look, he said quietly. I've seen it before. You're not ending like that. Not here. Not now, I swallowed hard. Then what do I do? He handed me the beer. You stand up. You rebuild. You show her she didn't destroy you. I don't have the strength. Then borrow mine until you do, he said firmly. I stared at him, the weight in my chest unbearable. Finally, I whispered, maybe you're right. He smirked faintly. I'm always right. For the first time in weeks, a shaky laugh escaped me. I looked out at the lights again. I can't let this be the end of me. Not like this. Lucas clinked his bottle against mine. That's more like it. Now promise me, no more giving Clara or Daniel space in your head. I promise, I said, though my heart ached with doubt. But deep inside, a fragile spark lit. I wasn't ready to die. Not yet. Are you sure about this, Ethan? Lucas asked as he helped load the last of my bags into the car. No, I admitted. But staying here feels like death. I need a fresh start. He gripped my shoulder. Then don't look back, I nodded, forcing a smile. Thank you for everything, he smirked. Just don't screw it up this time. The road stretched ahead, unknown and terrifying. But for once, uncertainty felt like freedom. Weeks later, I sat in a small office, nervously clutching my resume. The hiring manager scanned it. You don't have much recent stability. I know, I admitted. But I'll work harder than anyone you hire. Just give me a chance. She studied me for a moment, then nodded. You start Monday. I nearly sagged with relief. Thank you. On my first day, I met her. Elena Morgan, she said, extending her hand. You must be the new guy. Ethan Cole, I replied, shaking it. I hope I don't slow you down. Her laugh was light. We're all slow at the start. Don't worry, I'll keep you alive. I grinned faintly. That's reassuring. As the days passed, Elena often checked on me. You're working through lunch again, she said one afternoon. I need to catch up. You need to eat, she countered, placing a sandwich on my desk. I blinked. You didn't have to consider it an investment, she teased. If you collapse, I'll be stuck with your workload. I chuckled, the sound foreign on my lips. Then I guess I owe you. Her smile warmed me in a way I hadn't felt in a long time. One evening, she found me staring blankly at my computer. You're somewhere else, she said softly. I rubbed my temples. Bad memories, she hesitated. Do you want to talk about it? No, I whispered. Not yet. Then don't, she said. Just know you're not alone. Her words settled into me like a quiet promise. Months slipped by, my days filled with work and late nights. Slowly, the weight in my chest began to lift. At a company dinner, my supervisor clapped my back. Ethan, your numbers are impressive. Keep this up and you'll be leading your own team soon. I smiled. I just try to do my best. Elena raised her glass across the table. He's being modest. He practically saved half the department last quarter. I laughed awkwardly. Don't exaggerate. It's not exaggeration, she said firmly. You're better than you think. Her confidence in me sparked something I hadn't felt in years, belief. Later, as we walked out together, she nudged me. See, you're not the broken man you think you are. I frowned.
How do you know what I think?
She shrugged. You wear your scars on your face. But scars mean survival, not defeat. I stared at her, caught off guard. You're too kind. Or maybe I just see what you don't, she replied. Nights in my apartment no longer felt like prison. I worked, I ate, I slept, and I didn't drown in memories as much. Clara's ghost still lingered, but Elena's presence gave me air to breathe. One night, she called. Ethan, are you still at the office? Yes, I admitted. Come outside. I'm waiting. Confused, I joined her by the entrance. She handed me a coffee. You've been burning yourself out, she said. Sometimes you need to stop chasing the past and just live. I sipped the coffee, warmth spreading through me. Why do you care so much? Her eyes met mine. Because I know what it feels like to lose everything. And I know what it looks like when someone decides to fight their way back. For a long moment, I couldn't answer. Finally, I whispered, Thank you. She smiled gently. Don't thank me. Just keep fighting. That night, lying in bed, I whispered to myself, I'm not broken anymore. I'm still here. And for the first time since Clara's betrayal, I believed it. Welcome back, Mr. Cole, the driver said as I stepped out of the car onto the familiar streets of my hometown. I breathed deeply. Strange. Everything looks the same, but I feel different. Lucas, who now worked with me, chuckled. That's because you're not the man who left. You built something bigger than they ever imagined. I smiled faintly. Bigger than I imagined, too. At the hotel lobby, an old acquaintance approached. Ethan Cole? I almost didn't recognize you. I tilted my head. Mark, it's been a while, he whistled. You run Titan Enterprises now, don't you? People say your company makes Hayes Industries look like a sinking ship. I kept my tone even. I've been fortunate. No, he said firmly. You've worked for it. Everyone's talking about you. I offered a polite nod and walked away, refusing to bask in it. Later, I visited my father's house. My hand shook slightly as I knocked. The door opened. His eyes widened. Ethan. Hello, Dad. For a moment, silence. Then his voice cracked. You look strong, I exhaled. It took me a long time to get here. He stepped aside. Come in. We sat in the old living room, memories pressing down on me. I was hard on you, he admitted. When you failed, I thought you'd never rise again. I was wrong. I stared at him. Do you mean that? Yes, his eyes glistened. I'm proud of you, son. The words hit deeper than I expected. I needed to hear that. He reached across the table. Then stay this time. Don't disappear again. I'll try, I said softly. The next day, news spread that Daniel's company had laid off half its staff. At a cafe, whispers filled the air. Hayes Industries is collapsing, one man muttered. His investors are pulling out, another added. I listened quietly, sipping my coffee. Lucas leaned in. You could finish him off if you wanted, I shook my head. No, let the storm do its work. I don't need revenge anymore. You're stronger than me, he said. Not stronger, I replied. Just tired of carrying hate. That evening, a familiar voice cut through the crowd outside a boutique. Ethan? I turned. Clara stood there, her once glamorous aura dulled. Her eyes darted nervously, clothes no longer extravagant. My chest tightened, but I kept my expression calm. Clara, she forced a smile. You look successful. I've worked hard, I answered flatly. Her lips trembled. Things haven't been easy for me. Daniel, he's drowning the company. And she hesitated. I made mistakes. I stayed silent. Say something, she pleaded. Anything, I finally said. I wish you peace, Clara. Her eyes widened as if she expected anger, not indifference. That's it? After everything? That's all that's left, I whispered, then walked past her. Her voice echoed faintly behind me. I should have chosen differently. But I didn't look back. Later, I visited my father again. He studied me. Did you see her? Yes, and? I let her go. Truly this time, he nodded slowly. That's strength, not the company, not the wealth. Letting go, I smiled faintly. Maybe you're right. On the balcony of my hotel, Lucas joined me with a drink. So what now? He asked. I gazed at the city lights. Now I live? I work, I build without bitterness, he smirked. The boy who left here in pieces comes back as a king, I laughed softly. Not a king, just a man who survived. The night air felt lighter than it ever had, and for the first time I realized my past no longer chained me. I had returned not to prove them wrong, but to prove myself right. The rain hammered down as I pulled my coat tighter, walking up the path to my new home. My steps slowed when I saw a shadow on the porch. Someone was kneeling there, soaked through, trembling. Ethan, the voice cracked, my breath caught. Clara? She lifted her head. Her hair clung to her face, her eyes red, swollen. Please don't walk away. I froze at the gate. What are you doing here? I had nowhere else to go, she whispered. I've been waiting for you. Anger surged through me, but I forced my tone steady. At my doorstep? In the middle of the night? Yes, she shivered. Because I finally see the truth. I shook my head. Truth or desperation? She flinched. Daniel left me. He found someone richer. He said I was a burden. I clenched my fists. And now you remember me? Tears streamed down her cheeks, mixing with rain. I was blind. You gave me love, everything you could. I threw it away. I was wrong. I stepped closer, the storm wind cutting through us. Do you know what it felt like, Clara? Walking in and seeing you with him? My best friend? You shattered me. I know, she cried. I regret it every day. I thought I wanted wealth, comfort, status, but when it crumbled, I realized none of it mattered without you. My chest tightened, memories colliding. You told me he could give you the life I never could. I was a fool. Her voice broke. I should have chosen you. I stared down at her. Do you know what your words did to me? I lost everything. My job, my will, my faith. I wandered like a ghost because of you. She reached for my hand, but I pulled back. Don't, I said sharply. Her lips quivered. I still love you, Ethan. I always did. I just didn't see it then. Love? I laughed bitterly. Love doesn't betray. Love doesn't stab you in the back with someone you called a brother. She bowed her head. I can't undo the past. But I can beg for forgiveness, please. Just let me stay by your side. The rain thundered harder, as if mocking her plea. Forgiveness, I whispered. You want me to erase the nights I screamed into the dark? The days I couldn't breathe because I saw your face everywhere? Her voice trembled. I don't want erasure. I want redemption. Let me prove I can be better. I searched her eyes. There was raw desperation, but beneath it, a faint flicker of the woman I once adored. My heart twisted cruelly. You're too late, I said. She gasped. No, don't say that. I rebuilt myself, I continued. Brick by brick. Pain by pain. And I finally stood without you. That's the man I am now. I can help you stand taller, she insisted, crawling closer on her knees. I'll change. I'll dedicate myself to you. I backed away, voice hard. I don't need your dedication. I needed it years ago when I gave up everything for you, she sobbed, clutching her chest. Ethan, I'll die without you. I closed my eyes. You said the same once about Daniel, didn't you? She went silent, her cries muffled by the storm. Listen to me, I said, my voice low but sharp. I don't hate you anymore. But I don't love you either. What I feel now is pity. That's all. Her face crumpled. Pity? Yes. My throat tightened. Because you had everything, my devotion, my sacrifice, my soul, and you traded it for an illusion. And now you're here, broken. But I can't pick up the pieces for you. Her hands trembled against the wet pavement. So this is it? You're turning me away? Yes. My words cut like steel. Go rebuild your own life. Like I did. Alone. She shook her head violently. I can't. I'm not as strong as you. Then learn, I said coldly. Silence stretched between us, broken only by the rain. Finally, she whispered. I never thought you could be so cruel. I swallowed hard. No, you made me this way. Cruelty was born from your betrayal. Her tears mixed with the storm as she stumbled to her feet. I still love you, she muttered, barely audible. I turned toward the door. Then let that love be your punishment. Her sobs echoed as I stepped inside, closing the door behind me. In the quiet, I leaned against the wood, my chest heaving. My heart still ached, but it no longer begged for her. The storm could take her. I was done. Clara was still standing in the rain when I opened the door again, her knees wobbling, her lips blue. Ethan, she whispered, please don't shut me out again. I'll do anything. Anything if it means being with you, I cross my arms. Anything? You had everything once, my heart, my loyalty, my future, and you threw it into Daniel's bed. What's left for me to believe? She flinched at his name. Don't say it like that. How else should I say it? My voice cracked with years of buried pain. I walked into our home and saw the two people I trusted most tearing me apart. I still hear your laughter, Clara. Do you know what that did to me? Her tears fell harder. I wasn't laughing at you, Don't twist it! I cut in sharply. I gave up my father's respect, my inheritance, my career. I traded wealth for love and you crushed it beneath your heels. Nights I couldn't sleep, days I couldn't work, weeks I begged myself not to end it all, and you want me to forget that? Her hands trembled. I can't erase the past, but I can atone. Let me make it right. I stared at her, heart pounding. Make it right? Clara, nothing you do will give me back the man I was before you destroyed him. She moved closer, voice trembling. I've changed. I know what matters now. You matter, I laughed bitterly. You realized I mattered only after Daniel abandoned you. That's not love. That's desperation. Her voice cracked. No, it's love. Real love, the kind you don't recognize until it's gone. I swear I'll never betray you again. I turned away, shaking my head. You already betrayed me in the deepest way possible. What else could you swear on now? The broken pieces of my heart? She grabbed my sleeve, her eyes pleading. Ethan, please. Give me a second chance. People can change. I pulled free. People can change, yes, but scars don't disappear. Every time I see you, I remember that night. The smell of wine, the sound of his voice, the way you looked at him, the way I begged you to look at me. That's what I see when I see you, she sobbed, covering her face. I hate myself for it. Every single day I hate myself. Good, I said coldly. You should! A voice came from behind me then, calm and steady. Ethan, I turned. Elena stood in the doorway, her presence quiet but powerful. She had a blanket draped over her arm, her eyes sharp with both pity and resolve. Clara froze when she saw her. Who is she? I didn't hesitate. She's someone who helped me remember I was worth something. Someone who reminded me that not all women destroy what they touch. Clara's lips parted, trembling. You replaced me? No, I said firmly. You replaced yourself the night you chose Daniel. Elena didn't replace you. She showed me what respect looks like. Elena stepped forward, her voice gentle. Clara, go home. You're only hurting yourself standing here like this. I'm not leaving, Clara cried. I won't lose him again. You already lost me, I said, my words heavy as stone. Clara's knees buckled and she fell against the railing, sobbing uncontrollably. I'll die without you, Ethan, I clenched my jaw. You said the same about Daniel once, didn't you? And yet here you are. She lifted her face, broken. Don't throw me away like I threw you away, please. Punish me if you must, but let me stay. I took a step back, my voice shaking with suppressed fury. Punishment won't heal me. Distance will. You want me to let you stay? Then tell me why. Why did you do it? Why him? Her eyes filled with shame. Because he promised me everything you gave up. Because I was greedy. Because I thought love wasn't enough. And I was wrong. Her confession twisted something inside me. For a moment, I almost pitied her more than I hated her. Almost. Elena, I said quietly. Would you mind going inside? She hesitated. Are you sure? Yes, I nodded. Clara's eyes darted between us. You trust her more than me already. Yes, I said coldly. Because she never betrayed me. Elena gave me a look of strength before slipping back inside, leaving me with Clara's shattered form. I leaned against the doorway, voice low. Clara, listen carefully. You don't deserve me. Not because you can't change, but because you didn't care when it mattered most. You chose power over love. That's the truth, and it will follow you for the rest of your life. She reached toward me one last time. But I love you, Ethan. I'll never stop loving you. I closed my eyes, inhaling sharply. Then let your love rot inside you like poison. It's not mine anymore. Her sobs grew violent, her body trembling with despair. She looked at me as if I were her last breath of air. Goodbye, Clara, I said. No, she whispered, broken. Please. But I turned and shut the door. Inside, Elena was waiting, her calm presence grounding me. You did the right thing, she said softly. I exhaled slowly, my heart aching but steady. Then why does it still hurt so much? Because you're human, she replied. But pain doesn't mean weakness. It means you cared, and now you're free. For the first time in years, I let myself believe she was right. The storm had softened to a drizzle by morning. When I opened the door, Clara was still there, drenched, her body curled against the railing like someone who had fought all night against ghosts and lost. She lifted her face when she heard the door creak. Her lips were pale, her eyes swollen. Ethan, please. Don't leave me like this. I leaned against the frame, exhaustion in my bones. Clara, you need to go home, her voice cracked. I don't have a home anymore. Everything's gone. Daniel took what he wanted and left me in ruins. You're all I have. I closed my eyes briefly. You once said I wasn't enough. Remember? She whimpered. I was blind. I was stupid. I don't care about wealth anymore. I don't care about status. I don't care about anything but you. My voice was steady but heavy. But I care, Clara. I care about what you did. I care about the way you destroyed me. And I care about the man I became after you left me in pieces. She dragged herself closer, her knees scraping against the wet wood. I'll spend my life making it right. Just let me in. One chance. Please, Ethan. Her desperation clawed at me, but I stood firm. A chance? You had your chance, Clara. And when it mattered, you chose someone else. Her hands gripped my trousers, her tears soaking into the fabric. I'll never forgive myself if you walk away now. I looked down at her shaking frame. Clara, I already forgave you. She blinked up at me in shock. What did you say? I forgive you, I repeated. But not for you, for me. Carrying all that anger, all that hate, it nearly destroyed me. I don't want to live like that anymore. Her lips trembled. If you forgive me, then we can start again. No, my voice cut sharp. Forgiveness isn't the same as reconciliation. I forgive you so I can move on. Not so you can crawl back into my life. Her whole body shook. Then what am I supposed to do? How do I live knowing I threw away the only man who ever truly loved me? That's not my burden anymore. She let out a sob so raw it scraped against my chest. Ethan, I can't lose you again. You already lost me, I said quietly. Years ago. On the night I opened that door and saw you with Daniel, that's when you lost me, even if it took me years to admit it. Her hands slipped from my legs as she collapsed onto the porch, pressing her face against the floorboards. Please, I'll die without you. I shook my head. No, Clara, you'll live, and you'll have to face the emptiness you created. Behind me, Elena's voice floated softly. Ethan? I turned slightly. She stood in the hallway, her presence calm, steady, like an anchor. Clara lifted her head and saw her. Her! She whispered bitterly. She replaced me. I met her eyes. No one replaced you. You left a void. Elena didn't fill it. She helped me see I could stand without it. Clara's voice rose, breaking. So she wins and I'm just left to rot? This isn't a game, Clara, I said firmly. There are no winners. There's just truth. And the truth is you had my love and you lost it. Elena isn't my revenge. She's proof I survived you. Clara's tears fell harder, her hands clawing at the wet boards. I would give anything to go back. Anything to undo what I did? I crouched down, meeting her hollow eyes. So would I, but life doesn't let us rewrite pages. It makes us live with the ink. She searched my face desperately. Then say something kind. Say I mattered, even for a little while. I exhaled slowly. You mattered. You mattered enough that I gave up my world for you. You mattered enough that I broke for you. But that's the past. Today, you're just a memory. Her sobs echoed through the gray morning air. I rose to my feet, voice heavy but final. This is goodbye, Clara. She crawled forward, clutching at my shoes. No, please. Don't leave me in the rain like this. I gently pulled free. I once knelt in the darkness because of you. I once begged the night to give me back what I lost. Now it's your turn to kneel. That's karma, Clara. That's life. She collapsed again, her cries muffled by the storm-soaked wood. I'll wait here, she gasped. I'll wait until you change your mind. I shook my head. Don't waste your life waiting for someone who already walked away. Elena stepped beside me, her presence grounding me. She placed her hand lightly on my arm and I knew she wouldn't let me falter. Clara looked up, her voice trembling. Ethan, I love you. I'll always love you. I felt the ache deep inside, but my words were steady. And I'll always remember the man I was when I loved you. But I'm not that man anymore. Her body shook violently as the drizzle thickened again, drops dripping from her hair, her shoulders, her hands. She looked so small, so broken. For a moment, pity pressed hard against my chest. But then I remembered the nights I had been the one broken, the one left alone. And I turned away. "Elena?" I whispered. "Yes?" "Let's go." We stepped away from the porch. Together, leaving Clara behind. Her sobs followed us down the path, but they no longer chained me. They were echoes of a life I had already buried. At the gate, I stopped and glanced back one last time. She was still kneeling, clutching herself as if trying to hold together pieces of a shattered soul. For a brief second, I saw myself in her years ago, on the floor of a dark room whispering her name into the silence. But then I looked at Elena, who met my eyes with quiet strength, and I knew the truth. I wasn't him anymore. I walked forward without another word. The rain washed over me, cold but cleansing. "I gave up everything for her," I murmured, "and she threw it all away. Now she kneels at my door, but I no longer need her." Elena squeezed my hand gently. "You're free, Ethan." "Yes," I said, my chest finally light. "I am." And for the first time in years, I truly believed it. The morning sun filtered through the curtains, soft and golden. I sat at the small table in the kitchen, sipping coffee when Elena joined me. She wore no makeup, just quiet warmth. "Sleep well?" she asked. I smiled faintly. "Better than I have in years." Her eyes lingered on me. "Do you regret anything about last night?" I shook my head. "No, for the first time I feel like I made peace. Not with Clara, but with myself." She reached across the table, her fingers brushing mine. "That's all I wanted for you." I studied her hand resting over mine. "You're patient, Elena. You never pushed." "You just stayed," she chuckled softly. "Maybe because I knew rushing you would only scare you away. Healing isn't fast." "I thought love was supposed to be fireworks," I said quietly. "Explosions, grand gestures. That's what Clara made me believe." Elena tilted her head. "And now?" "Now I think love might be the steady flame that doesn't burn out." Quiet, strong, and real, her smile grew gentle. "That's the kind I can give." I exhaled slowly, realizing how different this felt. "I'm not promising anything fast, Elena. I don't want to fall into another illusion." She nodded. "Then don't. Let's build something brick by brick. No illusions, just truth." For the first time, I didn't feel pressured. I felt free. Later that afternoon, I walked to my father's house. He stood outside, trimming the hedge, and looked up when he saw me. "You came," he said simply. "Yeah," I answered. "It's been too long." He put down the shears and wiped his hands. "Coffee?" I nodded, and inside, the silence between us felt different. Less like a wall, more like an unfinished bridge. "I heard about Clara showing up," he said after a while. I met his eyes. I told her goodbye. "For good?" He leaned back in his chair. "I worried you'd let her drag you under again." "I almost did," I admitted. "But I finally understood she's not my future. She's just part of the story that made me who I am." His eyes softened. "That's wisdom, son. Pain teaches, but only if we listen." I hesitated, then said, "I blamed you once. For not warning me, for not protecting me from her. But maybe I needed to break to understand myself." He let out a long breath. "I wanted to stop you. But sometimes a father has to let his son learn by fire." "I'm sorry it hurt so much," I shook my head. "Don't be. That fire forged me." He nodded slowly. "Then maybe now, you're ready to live without chains." I left his house with a strange lightness, the kind I hadn't felt in years. That evening, Elena and I walked by the river. The sky blazed orange and pink, a horizon alive with promise. "Do you ever think about her?" Elena asked gently. "Clara?" "Yes," I thought for a long moment. "I do, but not with longing anymore. More like remembering a scar. It doesn't hurt, but it reminds me where I've been." Elena's voice was calm. "Do you think she'll come back?" "No," I said firmly. "She's gone. And even if she tried, she doesn't belong in my world anymore." Elena slipped her hand into mine. "Then maybe this is where your real story begins." I looked out at the fading sun, the reflection of light shimmering over the water. "Maybe it is. I wasted so much time chasing a love that destroyed me. But if I hadn't, I wouldn't be here now." She squeezed my hand. "Do you believe it was worth it?" I thought carefully. "Worth it? No, necessary? Yes, sometimes love destroys us. But in losing it, we finally find ourselves." The words lingered in the air, quiet and steady, like the river carrying the last light of day into tomorrow. And for the first time, tomorrow didn't scare me.